And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, another Wednesday. The biggest Wednesday of the year. Well, of last year, because last year has been wrapped up.
Yeah, Tesla gets to tell us how they did last year, which ended 27 days ago, but we have to wait with bated breath for them to finally let us know how they did.
If you're looking for financials, this is the wrong place. This is Tesla News, not
We
TSLA
are not going to
News.
talk about the numbers because
we're
we talk
here.
about stocks too much recently, and I don't want to get blamed for bad investment decisions. So if you are more keen on trying to find actual financials, I suggest you just read the actual earnings report. The most I'll say is that Tesla was profitable once again. So they went a whole year of being profitable. So hats off to Tesla.
Yes. We're here to cover the company and changes, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot announced today or yesterday. A lot learned in
Yes.
these earnings report and earnings call. Dennis,
so once you get
walk us through
past
some of the stuff.
all the numbers of the earnings report, you get down to the portion where Tesla talks about all of the different facets of its business and where it's going to go and how it's going. So the first portion is the factory portion. They started off talking about Fremont, which, as you know, has gone through an 18-day period where they stopped the Model S and X production, which turned out to be a model refresh that we will talk about shortly later. But Tesla says that Fremont is now going to be back to operational status, and they have increased the production capacity of the S and X from 90,000 cars a year to 100,000 cars a year. So clearly they see that the refresh is going to impact the demand of the Model S and X and Fremont.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but S and X sales have been declining.
Yeah, it's not. It's either been plateauing or very slowly dropping off because, it's been more or less the same car for over 5 years at this point. So hopefully having something fresh to the eye will invigorate the demand for that car. Model 3 and Y in Fremont have maintained the same planned production rate at 500,000 cars. So Fremont has just seen a little bit of an increase in their overall production capacity. Moving on to Shanghai, Model 3 has been demonstrated to be able to be produced in 250,000 cars a year run rate, and Model Y production actually started. So keep an eye out for Model Y, made in China Model Ys to be hitting the streets basically right now. I don't believe that the entire factory is complete yet, but Tesla likes to, as soon as they have the space to put a production line, they'll just put it in and build out the rest of the factory. So whilst Shanghai had an initial planned rate of 500,000 cars, they are currently going to produce about 450,000 cars. So probably 250,000 Model 3s and then 200,000 Model Ys, and then ramp their way up to production. And then moving on to Berlin and Texas, they're both still under construction. Berlin is supposed to be finished sometime in the middle of 2021, probably late summer, and we'll start producing the Model Y. And Texas, according to what Elon said on the earnings call, if they're lucky, they will be able to deliver a few Cybertrucks by the end of this year, but fingers crossed for that. Taking a look at the earnings report little table that we like to post every quarter. The Tesla Semi Roadster and now future project, which is probably the $25,000 Tesla, at least we assume, still do not have homes. So that's how the factories are looking.
Now, did they always not have homes? I could have sworn the Roadster at one point was planned for
I
Fremont.
think in like Q1 or Q2 it was put underneath Fremont, and then it was put TBD, used to be America or United States. I think even last earnings report it was considered United States, but now it's not United States anymore. So if you're really looking deep into that, I don't know if that means that the Tesla Semi, I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for the Tesla Semi to be built outside of the United States, but maybe the Roadster, I
want an Italian Roadster, Italian Tesla.
I mean,
Tesla
Berlin
collab.
is looking to be the most advanced factory they're going to be implementing their paint factory. They're going to be putting in the 4680 batteries there. Yeah, they're big casting machines that basically make the Model Y like 3 big pieces and that's it. I mean, maybe the Roadster will be built there, but I mean,
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Semi starts in Europe because of how soon they're going to have the 4680 cells.
that's open up to speculation. So we'll see. We'll see how this chart. It's my favorite portion of every earnings report to see how this table evolves. Moving on from the factories, then Tesla typically talks about their other technologies. Basically, nothing really new here. This is more so for the people that aren't up to date with Tesla on a daily basis. It's just basically saying that, FSD exists in their beta. I believe Elon said there's 1,000 beta testers right now testing the FSD beta. So they're definitely getting a lot of information to further improve the system. Then we have vehicle software updates. They went on to talk about their holiday software update. We've already talked about the holiday software update, so once again, nothing new. And then battery and powertrain, where Tesla talks about how they continuously beat out everyone in terms of range and performance, specifically with their Tesla Model S Plaid, which is supposed to get to 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds, which would make it the fastest accelerating production car ever made. So, that's that. Nothing really too new on this page. And then even more far removed from the vehicles is the energy storage and the solar roof, solar panel section of the earnings report, which just continues to say that Tesla is trending upwards in terms of their storage deployment, which is what's shown in the bottom chart, as well as increased deployments of their solar. So, people, I mean, we've talked about the solar roof being available in more cities a couple weeks ago. So we're definitely seeing the more effort being put into solar panels and solar roof. And finally, we have our outlooks. Tesla has really simplified the outlooks, in which they literally state in the beginning, where it says, given the number of significant projects in the pipeline, we have simplified our approach to guidance for 2021. So typically in the volume section, Tesla would give an approximate number. Last year it was 500,000 cars for the year. This time it's only going to be, we're going to expect a 50% average annual growth in vehicle deliveries. So that means that next year or this year, we might see 750,000 cars. Some years, yeah.
It also says in some years we may grow
case.
faster,
Okay.
which we expect to be the case.
So it could be 60%, it could be 70%, it could be 100%. Who knows? Tesla stopped going into specifics, but it seems that 750,000 cars is a safe base estimate, as long as we're not in any global meltdowns, given the amount of factories they're going to put out. But, we'll see. Cash, Tesla says we have enough cash. No worries. Profit, we're going to make profit. And in terms of product, Model Y capacity is being built in Berlin and Texas. So we're going to start Model Ys coming out of those factories in 2021, making it the only model being produced at 4 separate factories. So Tesla's really putting a lot of weight into their Model Y. And Shanghai is going to continue to expand. And Tesla Semi, apparently, supposedly, if we are to be believed, will come out in 2021. So fingers crossed on that one. So that was the outlook and, I guess, year in review for Tesla.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the earnings call, because there was a little bit of news there as well. Full self-driving subscription confirmed by Elon Musk. He also stated that there is no plans to make full self-driving transferable. They are valuing full self-driving when you trade in vehicles, but not at its full price. He still stands by it being severely underpriced. They mentioned that they are going to become a market leader in solar pretty soon. That's their goals. They're now focusing on solar energy.
They said something about licensing out software or the charging network.
Yes. They have no issue licensing out autopilot or their charging network, which could be interesting this year. We have seen a couple rumors about their supercharger network being licensed out by Aptera. They said they were already in talks with OEMs for licensing their autopilot cameras. We'll see what happens there.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, you want to move on to probably the biggest news in terms of consumer stuff?
Well, let's build up to it. Why don't we? So, Model S and Model X infotainment system. If you bought a car prior to 2018, somewhere about April, you had MCU1, which is basically useless at this point. You don't have any of the major updates that Tesla's released in the last year or so. You don't have the new games, you don't have video capabilities, and the screen in general runs super slow. They offered a replacement for you to upgrade from MCU1 to MCU2 and receive all of those features for about $2,500. Earlier this week, we saw them severely discount that at $1,500, which is about a 40% discount. Basically telling us, hey, we have too many of these. Come take them. And now we've learned that the Model S has finally been refreshed. What's it been? 3 weeks we've been talking about the Model S refresh?
Leaked track
4 weeks
cars this week, upcoming to today.
It's finally here. Model S refresh and the Plaid. We have new specs, new prices. The long range models basically the same in terms of specs. They increased the range from 6 miles.
Like 408, 409. Now it's 412, so even less.
But they've also increased the price. It's now $79.90 versus $69,420. So we will forever miss the $69,420 number.
Say goodbye to the meme number.
The front of the car has been changed.
Portion.
We have chrome delete. It seems we have LED tail lights now. And the interior is really the big change here. Interior.
I didn't think I'd ever see it. Tesla kept trying to put it in the Roadster, then they put it in the Cybertruck, and we're like, that's just for design purposes. Now it's in production.
Now it's in production. Because this car is in production today.
Wow. Where do we begin?
Well, they took a lot of things from the Model 3 and Y, like the AC system. It's now in the dash. There's a new larger screen. What is it, 17 inches, I believe?
22 something by 1300, I think. So it's a pretty high definition screen.
It's not confirmed, but from the sounds of it, from the text, it seems this is MCU3 or the third generation of MCU, which is capable of running
apparently
full
promotional picture has The Witcher 3, which is a pretty intensive game. And the options where they list the interior features say that the computer in here is equivalent to modern game consoles. So we'll see about that.
I mean,
I did.
You joked on the podcast. I had said, "Hey, what if Tesla just
did?"
Elon
whole game making me look foolish once again.
So previously we had dual climate. Now there's tri-climate.
Tri-zone,
what they call it.
I think.
The ventilated seats are back. The doors now look like the Model 3 and Y. There's no
stocks.
What do you call it? A stick? Stocks. There's no stocks on the steering wheel. Unsure how you actually change gears.
So the turn signals, for instance, are on capacitive buttons on the steering wheel, as well as your headlights, we believe, and some other functions. Your windshield wipers, probably. Yeah.
Windshield wipers. We don't know how to change gears.
Unless you scroll to change gears with the things. That would be
That would
weird.
be weird.
But you're using half a steering wheel, which is already weird. So, is it really the weirdest thing here?
Hey, I mean, this is full speculation. We don't have any information on this, and no one's seen this car in person. But I just thought, what if the second display, because this does have a second display, is touchscreen like the Lucid, and that's how you change
feel
gears?
like I've never. Yeah.
They
Plus,
would
I
have
don't
said
think I've
something.
ever seen a car that would use the instrument panel display as a touchscreen
Lucid.
display.
Lucid
No,
does.
only this. Yeah, but they're like peripheral to it. They're on the sides of it. Yeah, so that's a mystery that I hope I will be able to get answered one day.
So we have door pockets now.
I think
did the Model 3 and Y have door pockets? So
yeah,
these are just Model 3 and Y doors, basically.
And bigger. There's a screen in the back. Don't forget. Don't.
Well, just pause on this image that I'm on right now. The screen actually tilts.
Yes, my boy Gio was very adamant about the screen being in the dashboard rather than sticking out. So Papa Elon listened to.
Yeah, they gave me everything I asked for.
Everything
I asked for, they gave me. They gave me an in-dash display. I wanted to tilt, and I wanted the second screen, and I wanted the Model 3 AC. That is all I asked for. They could have left everything else out, because personally I'm not too much of a fan of the new body style. Maybe I have to see it in person, and maybe it'll grow on me. I hate the steering wheel. And it's going to be annoying to drive like that.
And moving on.
Moving on. There's a third screen now. Like the Lucid, if you've ever seen the Lucid Air. There's a third screen where the second row AC vents used to be. It seems they have full control of it. Like, they could play games. It's its own individual screen. So that's fun. Does that actually mean that we lost AC vents?
No,
in the back, I'm not seeing any in these images. Again, we still haven't seen this
car
in person.
It said that the AC is tri-zone, so logically you would think
temperature.
Drivers one, passengers one, somewhere. And then the back seat is another zone. I would hope you're not cooking back there, or yeah.
We now have a more luxurious experience with cup holders in the back seat.
More bolstered. They look like they hug you more in the back. So
22 speakers, excessive if you ask me.
I need to feel like I'm at the concert.
I don't even think concerts have 22 speakers. I think I go to a movie theater. I don't think I can count 22 speakers.
Well, then you're going to a really small movie theater, my friend.
Dimensions seem to be the same. At least in terms of cargo space, it matches what it used to be. So if it is a little bit longer, it's not adding anything in terms of space. Elon did state during the earnings call that a 7-seater Model S is coming, but the option's not in the configurator, which, by the way, the configurator is open if you want to check it out. Yeah, let's head over there. So we finally have the Plaid. I mean, it's been in the configurator for a while. It has now changed. The one that was in the configurator is the Plaid.
The Plaid
Plus
that we all know and love is the Plaid Plus now, and the performance Model S and X have been upgraded to have a third motor and have become like a baby Plaid. Which
is still great specs. It actually still has the same performance specs, except like 100 horsepower less, but same top speed and same 0 to 60 supposedly. It has a few asterisks. You should note this 0 to 60 and this quarter mile time and top speed have asterisks stating that it requires the proper tires and wheels, which won't be available till fall 2021, and that they discount the time of the rolling
for
start.
The quarter mile. Yeah.
What was it?
It doesn't. The quarter mile time, which they posted in the earnings report, which I think was 9.3 seconds or 9.6. One of them does not include the rolling start that they have. So I think they start the timer when the car hits like 5 miles per hour or something like that. I don't know how the rolling start measurements work, but I don't know how many people really care if the quarter mile is 9.6 seconds versus 9.7 seconds and whatnot. So, point is, it's still insane performance.
Both models have carbon sleeve rotors and torque vectoring if you care about driving fast. I mean, there's not much more about this car. Charging speed is the same. We don't actually know if in the images we see a whole new UI. We don't know if that's going to come on release, if that UI is going to be sent to all current cars, or if it's MCU3 exclusive.
If there even is an MCU3. If I'll even be able to play Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon said that he would have a separate talk about the Model S. He's going to sit us all down, and he's going to have a little talk with us about the Model S and X, because the earnings report, obviously, they have to talk about other stuff. It's the end of the year earnings report, so there's a lot of things to talk about. So,
by little talk, I expect him to be on Twitter.
He said he needs a talk. He needs a call or something. The fact that this comes out in March, I would hope he can talk to us next month or even sooner, because, there's still... Yeah.
I mean, clearly there's more to come, because we were informed of a 7-seater. So maybe this isn't even the final...
This isn't even the final
form. Final refresh. Well, the Plaid Plus comes out in March, but
the Plaid comes out. The Plaid comes out in March, along with the long range, and then Plaid Plus comes out in late 2021.
Okay. Which is not line up with what Elon said in the earnings call, because I believe he said February.
Yeah. Well, Model X, I think, comes out in
February. We're not there yet.
We're
not there yet. So everything you just heard about the Model S,
yeah,
it also happened with Model X.
Boom. Just condense everything.
Same thing.
Replay what we just said, but replace Model S with Model X, and
lower the specs
and increase the price because it's more car.
At 2.5 seconds in an SUV.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's actually crazy. And it's the same exact front change. They changed the bottom lip, yeah.
Same front change, same interior change, same second row change with that other screen. Absolutely nothing else is added to this. The same seating options are available, and the price has also been increased as well.
Yeah. So
what does that make the most? There's no Plaid Plus though. So I think for the first time ever, the Model S has the most expensive car in Tesla's lineup.
Well,
there's a fun fact.
The Roadster has always been...
It's not here yet. And I still have hopes that the Roadster is going to be price cut in half and be more affordable.
I can't. $125,000? That's going to be stupid.
Hey, compare it with the F-Type, the Jaguar F-Type. It's the same size.
Smoke that car.
Well, I'm not saying that those specs need to be 125. They could have a Plaid Plus. They could have the SpaceX edition, but I'm talking
honestly,
base
now
price.
that they did this, it does legitimize maybe a less powerful, less expensive Roadster maybe in the future.
Right? Give me a standard range Roadster. I'd love it. Who makes convertibles? No one makes convertibles.
Miata and you like it. That's what
you
can put a Tesla logo on a Mazda Miata. I mean, I've seen EV conversions of Miatas. We can make it work.
Well, while me and Dennis discuss how we are going to create a YouTube channel where we convert a Miata into a Tesla Roadster using nothing but the small amount of money in our bank accounts, you guys check out this configure
it to your heart's content, and
it's finally here.
Let us know what you guys think.
Model X shows April, by the way.
We don't care about the Model X. They get made late.
April
later.
For the Plaid and April for the long range. So
yeah, that's Tesla in review.
That's it.
Here's the Model S refresh finally happened. I'm gonna say that it was a substantial enough of refresh, I think. But yeah. See you guys next week.